The wind howled like a wild animal. Waves crashed against the small wooden boat, tossing it back and forth like a toy. In the middle of the Sea of Galilee, a group of fishermen, Jesus' closest friends, were fighting for their lives. Rain lashed down, and the sky was a terrifying, inky black. They were exhausted, scared, and losing hope. It felt like the sea itself wanted to swallow them whole. Suddenly, through the storm and the darkness, one of them saw something. A figure. It was walking on the water, moving toward them as if the raging sea was solid ground. Panic set in. "It's a ghost," one of them screamed, his voice barely audible over the roar of the storm. Fear, colder than the rain, gripped their hearts. They huddled together, convinced they were seeing a spirit from the deep. But then, a voice cut through the chaos, a voice they knew better than their own. "Take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid." It was Jesus. Relief washed over them, but it was mixed with utter disbelief. How could this be? Was this real? Their minds struggled to comprehend what their eyes were seeing. Jesus, standing calmly on the violent waves. Peter, ever the impulsive one, the man of action, felt a surge of something powerful, a mix of awe and a desperate need to be closer to his master. He had to know for sure. He cupped his hands around his mouth and yelled, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you on the water." For a moment, there was only the sound of the storm. The other disciples stared at Peter, thinking he must be crazy. Then, that same calm, powerful voice replied, "Come." Just one word, "Come." But it was filled with so much authority, so much invitation, that it silenced all of Peter's doubt. He took a deep breath. His heart was pounding in his chest. He looked at Jesus, his eyes locked on the calm figure in the midst of the storm. Then, he did the unthinkable. He swung one leg over the side of the boat. His friends gasped, reaching out for him. Peter, no. But he wasn't listening to them. He was listening to that one word, "Come." He put his foot down, not on the wooden floor of the boat, but onto the churning, black water. And it held him. He swung his other leg over, and there he was, standing on the sea. He took a step, then another. He was doing it. He was walking on water, moving toward Jesus. A huge, unbelievable smile probably spread across his face. The wind and waves were still there, but in that moment, they didn't matter. All that mattered was Jesus, waiting for him with open arms. He was defying the laws of nature, doing the impossible, all because he trusted the one who called him. For a few glorious seconds, Peter was unshakable. He was walking on the very thing that had terrified him just moments before. The distance between him and Jesus was closing. It felt like a dream. But then, he made a mistake. He took his eyes off Jesus. Just for a second, he glanced down. He saw the massive waves swelling up around his feet. He felt the full force of the gale force wind hit him. And in that instant, the reality of his situation crashed down on him. What was he doing? Humans can't walk on water. Fear, sharp and paralyzing, replaced his faith. And the moment he doubted, he began to sink. The water that had been like solid ground moments before now gave way. He flailed, his legs going under. The cold sea wrapped around him, pulling him down. "Lord, save me," he cried out, his voice filled with terror. He was going under. Immediately, a strong hand grabbed his. Jesus was right there. He hadn't moved. He had been there all along. He pulled Peter up from the water, his grip firm and reassuring. As Peter stood there, dripping and trembling, Jesus looked at him, not with anger, but with a gentle sadness. "You of little faith," he said softly, "why did you doubt?" They walked back to the boat together, side by side on the water. As soon as they climbed back in, a strange and sudden quiet fell. The wind died down completely. The waves settled. The sea became as calm as glass. The storm was over, just like that. The other disciples, who had watched the whole incredible event unfold, just stared. They were speechless. The fear was gone, replaced by a profound sense of awe and reverence. They had seen something that defied all explanation. They looked at Jesus, then at the now peaceful sea, and they understood. They fell to their knees before him. This wasn't just a great teacher or a miracle worker. This was something more. In unison, their voices filled the quiet air. "Truly, you are the Son of God." The story of Peter walking on water isn't just about a man defying gravity. It's about what happens when we fix our eyes on what matters. When Peter looked at Jesus, he did the impossible. When he looked at the storm around him, he sank. Life is full of storms, isn't it? fears, anxieties, challenges that feel like they're going to swallow us whole. It's so easy to get distracted by the wind and the waves. But this story reminds us where our focus should be. It's a powerful lesson in faith, not a blind faith, but a faith that trusts in a power greater than our fears. It's about having the courage to step out of the boat, even when you're terrified, because you're trusting the one who calls you. And even when you stumble, even when you sink, it's about knowing that a hand is always there, ready to pull you back up. The question isn't whether storms will come. They will. The question is, where will you be looking when they do? Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores these timeless messages in a fresh way. Let me know in the comments what you thought. See you in the next video.